Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. This is Dark Souls Remastered, Episode 13. When last we left off, we defeated Seath the Scaleless, opened up the DLC expansion area, and defeated the Sanctuary Guardian. We blew that guy away. It was a massacre. I almost felt bad. It wasn't even a fight. So, what are you gonna do? I know what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep trucking because you can't stop trucking. You gotta keep moving. The topic for this playthrough, other than Dark Souls, has been the manosphere, masculinity, men's rights, MGTOW, whatever. Not really so much MGTOW, men's rights or whatnot, but talking about masculinity, masculinity. Did you get that? The manosphere, and specifically how it applies to relationships with women. Okay, I'm pretty sure I hit them both, but whatever. I bounced off the ground. I put the katana in the ground. Alright. My katana of choice is the Iaito. Although the Uchikatana is quite good as well. I just like the Iaito's R2. Now that R2 right there is pretty cool looking. The two-handed R2 is a bit slow on the wind-up, so that kind of sucks, but it's manageable. You just gotta know how to manage it. We talked last time about self-improvement, not so much how to do it, but how it can often elicit a negative reaction from your girl. And then I talked about how we'll discuss why she's not yours. Even though we tend to say that, I even tend to use that phrase, but it's more of out of convenience and habit than out of accuracy. So I've heard Richard Cooper say this. Richard Cooper, you can Google him or YouTube search him and you'll find his channel. I don't know if he came up with it, if this concept came from the Red Pill or what, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to give credit where I can, although I don't know the original source. At least the dragon doesn't try to kill us, right? As far as I can tell, he's completely harmless at that stage. Even if you try to run right up on top of him, he doesn't seem to be able to harm you, which I guess is a good thing. It gives you, but it does give you a warning. Hey, there be dragons. Here there be dragons. These don't do anything. I used to wonder if they were going to poison me, toxic, apply some negative effect. Nope, nothing. And if I can, I might switch it up to the Grass Crest Shield for that sweet, sweet stamina bonus. Plus, the Grass Crest Shield takes me from, let's see, 78 physical block. I thought it was 72. I was close to 95. Hey, 95 is good. 95 is better than 78. So, yeah, today our topic is about how she's not actually yours. The problem that a lot of men and women fall into, but particularly men, because we tend to love women romantically, even if they don't deserve to be loved, even if they haven't earned that love, and even if they're being kind of bitchy and nasty and bad to us, we still tend to love them romantically. We love women the way we want them to be, not necessarily the way they are. They're tending to the forest, and I'm tending to their doom. Gold coin. Not very useful. Of little value to me. It's like, what, 5,000 souls? That's it. So, because we love romantically, because we are the romantics, because we have this idealized version of women in our heads, we tend to care about these women long after we should. Well, when you start thinking that a woman is yours, and she's not yours anymore because she's done with you, the problem is that you're not going to realize she's done with you. You're going to think, well, she's just playing hard to get, or maybe she still loves you. You just got to show her how much you love her, and you just got to buy her some more gifts and go back to the old days of flowers and try to convince her to come with you to this old place you guys used to hang out. And then everything will be cool, and she'll love you again like she used to. Because after you've been together for 5, 6, 15, 20 years, there's no way she just would turn her back on you. She wouldn't do that. That's not the Sarah you married. Or, that's not the Becky you've known for all these years and gotten to know and moved in with. And, of course, one of the hardest pills to swallow for men, one of the coldest showers a man will ever take, is when a woman that he's so loved, so dedicated his life to, so sacrificed for, turned his life upside down, sacrificed career and ambitions and all the other women that could have been, when that woman that he's just given up everything for and focused so much on and loved so much, so romantically, so idealistically, when she completely turns away from him, gives up on him, walks off, and just loses interest. 100% like she never cared. Whew, it's quite the experience. I think every man should have that experience at least once in his life. And it's an experience you don't forget, ever. So it's a good experience. It's a learning experience. It's one of those self-correcting errors. Well, you'd hope. I say it's a self-correcting error. It's actually only a self-correcting error if you're red-pilled. And ideally, you wouldn't be in that situation if you were truly red-pilled. But what happens is this woman who pled her life to you, maybe even on the altar of marriage, told you all this and that and said how she'd love you forever till death do us part and all this stuff. She just suddenly is like, yeah, you know what? I just don't care about you anymore. I don't love you anymore. And they say a lot of, they put it in a lot of interesting ways. Like, one that I heard was, and it's all funny now. It's not funny at the time when, like, your serious relationship of, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 years is falling apart. But one of the things they'll say is something like, oh, I still love you, but I'm not in love with you. Or, basically women, because how men settle, and I'm sorry, this is a stream of consciousness, I'm all over the place. Men tend to settle. And so what happens to women in relationships is they tend to look at the men that they're romantically involved with, and they start transitioning from that romantic sexual fervor interest into a more familial, comfortable interest. And guys will mistakenly think that this is a good thing. Like, hey, we're bonding, we're coming together, we're forming that tight, close relationship. She's going to be my bestie forever. We're BFFs, best friends forever. And I shared on Twitter maybe a couple weeks ago about how this guy, or this woman, posted that, he had apparently proposed to her. She showed a picture of herself with a ring, and he's like, he asked me to be his BFF. Well, let me tell you something. No. No. If you think your woman, and I say your woman, it's not your woman. If you think the woman you're with is your best friend, she's not going to be anything for much longer. Men, what do we often lament? Oh, I meant to kindle that bonfire. What do we lament? Men often lament being friend-zoned. You don't want to be friend-zoned with a woman you're interested in. And the way you do that is you don't become her friend. You make it clear from the first moment. You're not a friend. You're not a guy friend. You're not the dude that she can just hang out with and talk about other dudes and talk about how her boyfriend isn't being nice to her, or how her last, her ex-husband, blah, 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 and how the divorce is going. And you think you're like, oh, I'm being the sympathetic ear. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to her, and she's pouring out her heart, and she's connecting with me just like I'm connecting with her. Because you're sitting there looking at her thinking, gee, I would love to, with her. You know what you love to do. All sorts of things. She's sitting there thinking, oh, this is great. I can talk to him like he's just one of my girlfriends. Because remember, guys, if you're not being intimate with her, but you're hanging out with her and chatting about life, you're not her boyfriend. You're her girlfriend. That's friend zone. And if you're okay with that, well, then you're okay with that. Don't be okay with that. Because trust me, it's not a good look. Because once you've established that you are a girlfriend type of guy, that you can become the girlfriend, she will introduce you as her girlfriend. Not with that word, but other girls will see that. They'll go, oh, this is the guy who we can kind of talk to about other guys, who we can cry, lean our shoulder on and cry with. This is the guy we can call as the backup plan to get a free meal when we can't find a date. This is the guy who we can take to a dance that we don't have to feel the pressure that it might become sexual, because he's just a friend. And you're there the whole time wanting it to be sexual, wanting it to be intimate, wondering, why do they keep treating me like I'm just a friend? Because you are. That's all you are. Don't ever expect to go from friend to boyfriend. Expect to go from friend to nothing. That's just kind of a hard reality, but I don't know what else to tell you. That's how it is. I'm going to drop this here and then go grab the items down below. And hopefully in the meantime, someone will summon us. I'd like to offer others my assistance. At no risk to me. Call now for your no-risk assessment. Get your free souls in humanity with no risk to you. These dogs just blend right in, don't they? Do you trigger them both at once? I think you do, don't you? Yeah. The invincibility frames on these dogs. I think they can drop humanity too, which is really interesting. Them and rats. What's that about? Dirty rats, too. So, here's the message from Richard Cooper. She's not yours, and I don't know if he came up with this. She's not yours. It's just your turn. Let me tell you guys. The first time I heard that, I literally sat back on the sofa I was sitting on, or chair. I can't remember where. I sat back and just kind of thought about it. You know when you hear something that strikes you so profoundly that you just sort of stop in your tracks? Well, that's what it did to me. I had to sit there and mull over that. That was a powerful statement. That was just a total change from the way I'd always thought about things. Here I am thinking, I could have attacked him, but I didn't. Oh, he's going to do the power within thing. Well, you know what? That just means it's to my advantage to wait. Oh, now he knows I'm going to parry. I got to stay on him because he's going to go for that heal. Oh, just barely got him. That was a good fight. I like that. It was intense. It was almost as intense as camping. Do you get it, guys? Intense. Sorry. Dad jokes are coming out. Full force dad jokes. So let's hit it again, guys. She's not yours. It's just your turn. Okay? What does that mean? Well, let me take you through it. What that means is that you don't own a woman. All right? Not only do you not own a woman, you don't have the ability to have control over a woman, okay? Can I get around to that without him coming and just blasting everything all to hell? You don't have the ability to own a woman. You can't own a woman. I don't mean just literally. I mean even in the figurative sense we talk about. She will never truly be yours in the way you want her to, the way you think she should be able to. Because that's not how relationships work. It's not how women work. Yeah, men are fully capable of dedicating themselves to a woman. They cheat. They cheat all the time. I don't think men cheat more than women. I think men cheat more openly and are dumber about getting caught. I think women are more cautious about how they cheat and more careful. I've dealt with so many people in relationships from my job, and I can tell you right now, there doesn't seem to be any overwhelming majority on who cheats more. It's not obvious in any way, shape, or form. If you ask me, it just seems like they cheat roughly equally, somewhere around there. I don't know. But I definitely would not go to what I previously thought, that men cheated more. That's what I used to think. I think that's a societal stereotype. Like I said, I think men just suck at cheating. They do it poorly. I don't think you should do it. I think it's a bad idea. I don't think it'll work out in the end. Having a side girl, I just don't think it's a good idea. But if you're going to do it, I can't stop you, right? Just imagine how you'd feel if they did it to you and take it from there, right? So anyway, she's not yours, it's just your turn. You can dedicate yourself to this woman. You could be celibate to this woman. That doesn't make any sense. That's not what celibate means. But, you know, you could be faithful to this woman for 17, 20 years. Doesn't matter how long. And she will drop you in a heartbeat and forget you ever existed, practically. She'll give you the let's just be friends, LJBF. I think I got that right, LJBF, let's just be friends. No, don't ever just be friends with a girl you used to be in a relationship with. You can be acquaintances, still know her. She's on your Facebook. Maybe you send her a Snapchat. I don't know, whatever. But you're not friends. If a relationship ends, you guys know each other, but you're not friends. You don't hang out. You're not buddy-buddy. That's not how relationships work. Besides, when most women say, let's just be friends, what she's saying is, hey, I don't want to be in this relationship with you anymore. Let's stop. And I don't have the courage to just tell you it's over. So I'm giving you like this kind of casual, easy way to pretend like, well, we can still hang out and it's okay. No, it's over, guys. It's over when she says, let's just be friends. So let it be over. Oh, I forget about how that works. Gosh darn it, I need to be closer. Can I knock him out of it? Yes. Bad idea. My bad. That Estus was a bad time to Estus. One. Two. Darn it. He's guaranteed to do it no more than 3 times. So if he does it 3 times, you have a guaranteed safe attack on the 3rd. But if he does it less than 3 times, you can't anticipate whether he'll do it again. Oh, shoot. That was terrible timing on my part. Okay. Keeping my health at about the same point. There we go. Woo! That was a terrible dodge on my part. I just got lucky that he missed me. Oh, he's dead. I got the attacks up to 928. You can keep hitting him after he starts his death animation. Whew, boy, okay. That was interesting. That was a good fight on my part. A little sloppy at times. Not my best Artorias fight, but it's up there and probably like my top 10 Artorias fights. You know, I'm not a pro player. I'm not afraid to admit I'm not a pro player. That's just not me. That's not what I do. I play for fun. I just play casually. If I were to try to like play hardcore, I wouldn't enjoy it that way. I just wouldn't. Now this, last I checked, this was one of the big spots for PvP. Used to be the most popular PvP spot after the Prepare to Die edition just came out. Everyone was hitting this thing up. Let's see if we can get one more Kindle. I really don't anticipate using beyond 15 Estus. I probably won't use beyond 10, but this area can actually give me some trouble because enemies just hit so hard. It's a bit long, they hit hard, and, you know, I don't know what we're talking about now, but here we go. What? Just one? 43,539. 43,5. 43,5. Don't need that for anything else, so pop it. Yep. Good to go. Whoops. My bad. Yeah, so when you think about she's not yours, it's just your turn, what that does is it gets you out of this dangerous mentality that, let's see, the key, we need a key to get up there to go, that you own her, she belongs to you, she pledged her life to you, you're married, so like she needs to stay with you, she can't leave you, she can't do that. That's wrong. Because what you'll do is you'll make several mistakes. Number one, you'll make the mistake of thinking it'll never end. She can't leave you. You'll always be together, blah, 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 whatever. And you will be so caught off guard, disappointed when it fails. And that kind of hurt can really just tear a guy up. It'll mess you up for a while. It's no good. You don't need that. You don't need that. They call it heartbreak. I'm not sure that's the right term for it. It's more like a paradigm shift. It's when your paradigm shifts and you realize that life doesn't work out the way life doesn't even function the way you think it should. Like the rules aren't what you've been taught. That's part of the red pill. Part of the red pill is learning that the rules to relationships and love are not what you thought they were. It's not what's being taught. It's not what they sing about in the songs, the pop songs. It's not what they teach in the Hallmark romance movies, the rom-coms, the romantic comedies. It's not. It's totally different in many ways. And a lot of guys get hurt in a lot of different ways believing in this sort of like Hallmark Disney-esque version of romance. It just doesn't work that way. So that's the danger of thinking she's yours. Because if she's yours and another man comes into the picture, you might feel like, hey, what is he doing? He's taking something that's yours, and he shouldn't take that. That's not his to take. And so, number one, you won't turn your back on her and walk away from her, which is exactly what you should do to a woman that cheats on you, in my opinion. Number two, you'll continue to fight for her, thinking that your property was taken. And what do? Well, you get your property back, right? That makes sense. Well, when it's a woman, it's not property. She was never yours to begin with. It was your turn. I guess she's decided she's moving on. Even if she doesn't have the guts to leave you, she made a statement. Actions, not words. Follow the actions. Don't worry about the words. Well, I'm sorry, honey. I'll never do it again. I didn't mean it. It doesn't mean anything. Blah, 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 whatever. If she cheats, she left you. That's the way I see it. A woman who cheats on you has already left you. It's your job to complete the leaving process and walk away. But if you think she's yours, if you own her, you're not going to walk away. You're going to fight for her, right, guys? You're going to fight for her. Because, you know, that's what men do. They fight for their love. They fight for love. They don't give up. They don't walk away. Well, that's Disney. That's not reality. That's, you know, bringing a princess back to the, you know, back awake by kissing her, you know, because she was cursed by a witch or something. That's not how reality works. These attacks are so quick that you typically can't walk out of their range. You have to roll. A lot of other attacks that come at you, as long as you're just moving diagonally away from them or in a direction not directly towards or away from, usually you can dodge their projectile. It just won't hit you. Here, it will. Those dark orbs come at you so fast. So the other thing that it'll do is it will make you want to almost sort of give up on other women and unhealthily, if that's a word, focus on this one. Instead of just moving on and finding another woman, of which there are many out there, plenty, instead you obsess over her. You focus on her. She's the one. She's that special one. She's the one you're meant to be with. How could this isn't supposed to be this way. This is a test of our relationship. And yeah, she cheated, but you know, it's not really her fault because you know, the guy, he seduced her, and that's not really what she wanted. And if she really wanted to leave me, she would have walked out, but she's still here. Well, she's still there because she's a coward. She's too weak to do it. She's trying to get you to do it. And you should do it. If a woman wants you to leave her, leave. She was never yours. You were never hers. That's the other thing, too. You're not hers. Just walk away. Just leave. You're done. Don't get caught up on her. Don't get caught up thinking she's like something real special. I mean, she is and she isn't, if that makes sense. Don't get caught up thinking that she's so special that you can't find someone else. You can find someone else, and you should find someone else. Is he going to come get me, or is he just going to sit up there and shoot at me like a wuss? He's going to just sit up there and shoot at me like a wuss. Now, in the most extreme circumstances, what can this mentality of ownership do? Well, she's mine. And if I can't have her, no other man will. You know, that whole approach. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. This is the kind of mentality where you get killed. Or you go to prison, or you hurt somebody, or you kill somebody, right? You show up when her guy's there, and you know, with a gun or something, and he's got a gun. The mentality of this, you know, mine and all this other stuff is just so dangerous. Because I can't tell you how many times I see guys do really stupid stuff, really dangerous stuff. Instead of just walking away and finding another woman and being happier, because she was never right for him anyway, he obsesses over her, he gets hung up on her, and here he is at the point where he grabs a gun to show up where he knows that she's with this other dude. With this expectation, like, what, he's gonna kill the guy, and then everything's just gonna be honky-dory afterwards, like it's all gonna be cool, like, hey, no problem. We're just gonna live happily ever after you murder somebody. That just doesn't happen, you know? But, you know, you didn't think about that. He's not thinking about that because he's not thinking rationally, he's not thinking logically, he's thinking emotionally, the way that you would think if you believed in the Disney version of romance, right? The Hallmark version of romance. Love is forever. Love never dies. Never give up on love. You know, all that nonsense. Well, don't think of it as love. Think of it as a sort of, and my girlfriend couldn't stand this term, but think of it like a business relationship, right? In a business relationship, if you're working with this guy in the business and he's terrible at it, he's losing money all the time, he's stealing money, he's lying to you, he's getting you in trouble with the authorities because he's not following these rules and not getting the proper permits, and I mean, you're not going to stick with it because you're partners and that's what partners do. You know what I mean? You're not. I mean, if he was family, you might put up with it for a little longer than you would otherwise, but you just quit. It's the sunk time fallacy, the sunk effort fallacy that a lot of guys get caught up in. Not only is she, quote, mine, but we're meant to be together, and we've been together for 3 years now, 5 years now, 15 years now, 20 years now, so we're supposed to be together. That's just the way it is, right? Well, no. I mean, you don't know that. You're not supposed to be together. You're supposed to be with the one that you're with, that you choose to be with for intelligent, logical, rational reasons. Not that you're with because you believe in, you know, you're just destined to be together, and this is just the woman that fell into your lap, in some cases, literally. Like, she just happened to be a woman that was willing to, you know, do certain things with you, and so you just stuck with her because, hey, why not? She's there, and she didn't reject me like all the other women have. That's the danger you run into. It's like you start thinking she's the one for you simply because she's available. So part of the idea behind the rational male is that you do something called spinning plates. And I'm not a big fan of dating multiple women at once, but the idea is you keep your options open. It's not necessarily that you're dating them all at once, it's that you keep options open. You have those options available to you. You don't get caught up thinking you need this one particular woman, because what an asshole. He just dodged that. Because you don't. You don't need any one particular woman. You don't get caught up on one particular woman. Whether you're living together, doesn't matter. Got a lease together, doesn't matter. Have a child together. It makes it a lot harder, but it doesn't matter. Married, makes it harder, but doesn't matter. You got to be willing to walk away from a bad relationship regardless of what it is that you feel like is tying you to her. And it's not destiny or fate and all that other crap. So if you need to end the relationship, you end the relationship. You don't stick with it because you've been with it for a while. And I apply this logic. Think of it this way. Let's say I invest in accounts, all right? I have a retirement investment, more than one. Let's say you've invested in a retirement. For those that don't know, basically you put your money in the market and the money increases over time as the market does what it does, right? The idea is you slowly gain more money, and with compounding interest on the money you have, then the money goes up, then interest on the interest, and over 25, 30 years or more, you'll have a lot of money in there and be able to retire on it. Is the ideal, okay? It doesn't always work out as well, and sometimes you don't have enough, but whatever. So typically the market you can expect the market to return over the course of your entire retirement savings somewhere around 7 to 10%. If it does better, that's great. Sometimes it does worse, but whatever. So given that, let's say you invested in this retirement account, okay? You're investing. It's with this company. The first year you lose money. You actually lose money. Now that can happen, but it should only happen during a serious recession. Even moderate recessions, the market is still doing okay enough to where you either maintain or gain just a little. You lose money. Okay, whatever. Lost money the first year. Next year, you lose money. Okay? Next year, you lose money. Next year, you lose money. Year after that, you lose money. Pretty soon, it's been 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years of losing money. So what do you tell yourself? Well, you tell yourself anything that a smart investor would say. Well, I've been investing in this for 10 years, so I need to stick with it. I mean, I've lost money every year, but I've been investing for 10 years. I've sunk all this time. I can't give up now. No, that would be ridiculous. Of course you give up now. You've been losing money the entire time. You pull out what you got, and you find another investment angle. Maybe the company you're investing with now, they suck at it. They're picking terrible stocks. They're taking unnecessary risks in these super, super risky ventures that never pan out. You get away from that, and you go find a more stable, better organized, better coordinated investment strategy. This is where I typically die a lot. This area is very dangerous. If I can get rid of these two, then I'm okay. That guy came at me faster than I anticipated. That's what she said. Anyway, let's grab this. Not get hit. Okay. Now, the danger here is these two shooting at us. What? There we go. One down. We should be able to handle it from here. Wow. She just sat there and... Oh. There we go. Okay, the jump back. So when you think about it as she's not mine, it's just my turn. She's not mine, it's just my turn. You think that. You repeat that. You remind yourself of that. The more serious the relationship, the more you remind yourself of it. Because she can leave at any time. And you have to afford her that right. Don't ever get caught up thinking, well, she can't leave me. She can't do that. That's not right. After all I've put into this relationship, how can she just... No. You never... Don't ever think like that. Don't ever get into that mentality. No amount of effort you put into the relationship makes her owe you anything. Okay, guys? She doesn't owe you anything. Unless she borrowed money from you and you guys signed a contract, officially signed it in front of lawyers and it's notarized, she doesn't owe you anything. Marriage contract doesn't count. It's not worth anything nowadays. All it does is lock you into these government regulations and requirements and put you on the spot for having to answer to a judge or guardian ad litem or whatever the case may be if you have kids. And suddenly now, the court system is in charge of dividing up all your assets instead of you and the other person. Marriage contract, she doesn't owe you anything. She doesn't owe you love. She doesn't owe you sex, intimacy. She doesn't owe you anything, ever, for any reason, at any point in time. If you've earned something from her and she gives it to you, great. If you feel you've earned it and she won't give it to you, and that's a consistent issue, leave. Find a woman that gives you what you feel you earn. Don't try to force any woman to give you what you feel you've earned. Because if you feel you earned it, but she doesn't feel you earned it, then to her, you didn't earn it. And if you're waiting on her to give you something, and she says you didn't earn it, then by her standard, you didn't earn it. And if she's the giver, then she's the standard. That doesn't, but the one thing, we don't put women on a pedestal. It doesn't mean that they're always right. She may very well be absolutely wrong. You may have done everything right, done everything you're supposed to, been a great guy, according to the beta male blue pill rules. She just doesn't want to do anything for you. But you know what? That's her choice. Oh well, life goes on. Find another woman. Leave. And once you make it clear to women that you're willing to leave, they will act better. They will act better. Actually, I want one more, because this boss fight can go on and drain a lot of health. I think the same is true of men, but not to the same extent. When I tell you guys this stuff, I am not saying that everything goes both ways equally. Men and women are not equal. It does not go both ways equally. They're not the same. We're not blank slates from birth. We're not canvases on which, nurture draws. We have nature in us, biology, genetics, and those sometimes just, we're different. Men and women are different. They always have been, always will be. Don't believe the lies. Millennials want to believe this lie that we're all just the same. There's no difference between us. Well, if there's no difference between men and women, why do we need more women CEOs? There's no difference, right? A man can just say, hey, I'm a woman, everybody, put on a skirt, and then we got to call him she, right? Well, if men and women are identical, they're all the same, we don't need more women CEOs. We just need CEOs because they're all the same. If men and women are all the same, how come men are getting all these... How come men, when they go into women's sports, just dominate? They're all the same, right? How come women want to claim that they're earning less than men, even though the exact opposite is true, if they're all the same? And by the way, if women were really paid less than men, then all businesses would be hiring more women because they'd save money. And businesses are about money. So yeah, that's not a reality. Actually, when you look at the numbers, young women, millennial-aged women, are earning more than their male counterparts. They're getting more degrees. They're graduating in higher numbers from high school. They're getting more and higher degrees from college. More of them are going to college than not, compared to men. So, oftentimes, whatever the news media tells you or whatever the popular feminist teaching is, the exact opposite is the truth. Whatever the opposite of that is, that's probably what's true. Now, the katana. The katana is not the best weapon for this, guys. It just isn't because... We'll send that up there so it's available. Because you get way too close to these guys. The halberd is a great weapon. It keeps you away from these enemies that damage you upon touch. The katana gets you really close to them, which is dangerous because they damage you on touch. And because of how it looks down here, it's really hard to tell exactly how close you are to them. Your one saving grace is that you do ever so slightly push them back when you hit them, so that helps you a little bit. Sif, I have saved thee. Now thou mustest helpeth me in the fight up ahead. Thou. Alright. I don't know if we'll get Manus in this episode. You'd think we would, but I tend to die to him quite a bit. What a douche schnozzle. Just fell down there. Didn't even give me the pleasure of offing him. Oh, look at that. A humanity. Could have been a twin humanity, but wasn't. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. If only. So, when you know that she is not yours, when you know it's just your turn, you understand, hey, it's my turn. My turn lasts as long as it lasts. It depends on a variety of factors. And no, don't sit there thinking, my turn lasts for as long as she lets me. For as long as this wonderful woman will put up with me. For as long as this amazing, beautiful woman will tolerate me. Don't self-deprecate. That's one of the other rules from Iron Tomasi's book. Ever since he... oh, man. That book. So useful. Read it. It's called The Rational Male. So useful, guys. Incredibly useful. It is... I think it should be required reading for all young men. Wow, I'm getting a lot of drops. Did they increase the drop frequency in the remastered version? Oh, shit. Shoot, shoot, shoot. You know, I knew they were down there, and I knew that as soon as I jumped down. As soon as it was too late. Okay. Well, we will try this. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. We're not prepared, really. There's no preparation to be done here. Let's... It wouldn't be a bad idea for me to use one of these buffs on my weapon. I can't take this. I like it. I'll give him a thumbs up. So once you know that it's only your turn and your turn lasts as long as it does, you also must know that she is not solely in charge of it. She can decide at any time that it's over. Absolutely. You tell her that at some point. Be like, hey, if you ever decide this relationship isn't working for you, you let me know. Don't tell me you want to be friends. Don't tell me that you want to see other people and maybe try an open relationship. Don't tell me that bullshit. Just say, hey, you know, I feel like this relationship isn't what I wanted, or this I want to go in a different direction. Excuse me. Just tell me the truth, that it's not working for you anymore, that it's not what you wanted, that you'd like to move on, and we'll move on. And we'll make it as simple and pain-free as possible for everybody. But, you know, the way to do that is through honesty, not through lying and saying that you want to just experiment with seeing other people and, well, you know, maybe we can just be friends. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Does he attack with his tail? I don't think he does he? I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any tail attacks. And you can't cut his tail off. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I done got his attention now. Come on, dude. Fight him. Hit him. I got his attention for you. Ooh. Knocked out all my stamina, but didn't do any damage. Oh. That went right after me, didn't it? I don't think it went after them, it just went after me. Huh. Whew. He will occasionally break lock on too, which that throws me off in this fight. Oh. Yeah. Don't get caught up in that. You can't break free of that once he gets you caught up in it, I don't think. Ooh, I think I staggered him. It's quite a big guy to stagger, isn't he? I do not believe in that amulet. I find it to be less than useful. Oh, shit. Oh. Just as I say it. I don't believe in that amulet. And get my ass kicked by the dark magics. I'm going to top off here, because why not? Oh, we got him. I sent him a quick wave before I disappeared. We put that guy down. Wait, did somebody die? Did Sif die? That's the sound of someone dying. I usually don't hear that death sound at the end. All right. That was exciting. Well, it's time to end the episode, believe it or not. I don't think we've ever ended an episode sitting outside a boss fog wall, have we? I don't think so, anyway. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And remember, guys, she's not yours. It's just your turn. End the turn if you want to, or she can. Either one of you can end it. It's not all hers. It's not all yours. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. Make sure to follow me on social media. Twitter is the main one that I social mediate on. So you can follow me there in the link in the description, as well as Facebook, Minds, and Gab. I hope you join me for the next episode, which may very well be the last at this rate. We have Manus, and then I believe after that is Gwen, right? I think. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. And as always, gentlemen, make sure to maintain your frame.